Welcome to my 22nd flight. I'm out here at Sylmar setting up. This spot's a little bit interesting because you set up directly into the headwind. I actually had to ask around a little bit as I was getting set up. They got the tie downs, very similar to the Marshall's launch, but here you really got to use them. Marshalls, I'm sure you have to use them sometime, but here, at least every time I've been here, and this is my first time, flew here about 3 days after this recording, and I'm recording this after that second time. But you have to use the tie downs here because the wind is strong, and it is interesting. I don't have video of it. Actually, no, I do have some video. The wind is strong, so like I got my hang loops tied into a rope that's attached to a hook in the ground. I'm assuming there's a block of concrete or something that is attached to. And basically it just holds the glider in place for the most part. As we can see from this little clip that I shot on my phone, it kind of still moves around and actually can really pick up and like stand up. The gliders that have the tail that bends down at the 90, as we can see there in the corner, really thrive on this because they can stay nice and level, and so they're not trying to do anything too crazy. I mean, if a strong gust came, they might pick up and then set back down. Nothing too wild. Nice little hang check spot here too. They got the like a AstroTurf type grass set up there. Super nice for a hang check. Really like that.
Andy, this is
got the help on the wires. This place you have to have help on the wires because again, that wind is really comes in strong and straight, blows through. It's not like other spots where you could just kind of like, I mean, I'm sure you could, but it's not ideal to try to manage that, balance that. Like, it's really coming in, and you want someone up on those wires to help you out.
I'd say 9 to 10.
So this is the H3 spot. I'm a hang 2, so I'm on the radio right now with the instructor because this is technically a lesson. Hoping to get signed off. I'm still not signed off to go just by myself at this place, but working with Andy, the guy who runs the flight park here. He's on the radio with me. Again, I got assistance up top. He's watching me up there. I'm just kind of waiting to give that clear signal.
When it's clear here, I'll tell you when I'm clear.
Okay.
Okay, try not to
Some good group down here at the end of the ridge.
Yeah, let's get a cycle building. Okay.
So I tell him I'm clear. I'm just waiting to feel those wings nice and level, and then I start running. Again, this spot's a little interesting just because it's such a nice strong headwind coming at you. You don't really have to do a whole lot. I mean, it could die out, so you want to run, you know, get aggressive about it, keep a little bit of a pull in. But I mean, it's really, you just kind of like start moving and you're flying because the air's moving by almost like at a stall speed or above a stall speed. You just have to get a little bit faster and you're flying.
Nice lift.
And so immediately here, just noticing great lift. There's some serious air moving up the ridge. Thermals getting generated as well as some mechanical lift from that nice headwind that's just blowing up the ridge and creating some really nice lifting conditions.
That's sweet seeing that dam.
How does the air feel, John?
Got some good lift.
It looks like you were working with Micah there.
Yep.
So zooming in on another glider there. We got a few other people in the air. I'm just watching out, entering these thermals. This is the most crowded thermaling I've ever done, and I haven't done a lot of thermaling. So you just gotta, as I was talking to Andy before, it's really about watching other people in the thermal. The person above has to yield to the person below because the person below can't see anything through the wing. You're trying to keep eye contact with the person circling with you. You always want to enter in the same direction as them. And it was really well put as a dance. And you're kind of doing a dance in the sky. I really like that piece of advice that I got. Interesting flying site. The dam is right there. Super cool. There's a helicopter port on the hill behind the dam a little bit more. And so there's helicopters going through constantly. Really cool sky crane coming through, picking up water because the fires are raging, unfortunately, right now in the line fire. Lots of helicopter traffic moving back and forth for that. And just super interesting here, flying with other gliders so close. And so before this flight, Andy had really cautioned me not to get too far behind the ridge and then not being able to go in front of it. And so I'm kind of watching out for that. The lift really did seem to be good behind it. And so I was kind of wrestling with like, how far do I go back? Like, what is safe? Let's figure this out. I don't think I got too far back at any point with my altitude, and especially with the ability to kind of cruise downhill and then turn lower, I felt pretty safe.
Sick.
So a big thing I noticed after this flight was my neck was sore, and it still kind of is. Just because I'm looking at other gliders so much, you know, turning in weird positions, looking up, looking down, trying to figure out where people are. It's kind of a strain on the neck. Flying temperature was really nice. I think it was about 85 on the ground. Up at launch, probably 80, maybe even 85. In the air, it felt nice. I was feeling good in the t-shirt. Glad I had the gloves, just to get a little extra warmth on those fingertips, but I was feeling nice in the t-shirt. I could feel a little bit of a breeze coming up through like the small amount of zip in the zipper, like where the two zippers meet. I didn't close them all the way on purpose, and it felt kind of nice. But I was like right on the cusp of like, yeah, maybe I could wear a little bit more clothes. So good shot there. We see two gliders in the air. So I'm just doing this mental calculation constantly of like, okay, like, are we circling the same way? Are we in the same thermal? Are we in different thermals, or our circles are going to meet up at some point? Just a lot more to think about with other people in the air, but love it compared to flying alone in the air, just because you're getting those just instantaneous affirmations of like, okay, I can see him going up. Either I'm going down or he's going up. There's a thermal there, or I'm in sinking air. Either way, probably want to get over there if it looks like he's going up. Either way. It's kind of cool looking down here. You can see that hiking trail, and there's actually a sign I could read later on. I forget what it says. But super cool, and I think we saw someone hiking as we were launching. There's some people out, or no, as I was flying, I'm pretty sure there's someone hiking. I don't know, I'll see if I can find the clip. But super cool just being on above that hiking trail and just thinking about people hiking below, because that's kind of something I've always fantasized about, is like, okay, like, it'd be so cool to be the guy flying above somebody hiking. Like, that's just wild.
Woo! Hot dog. Oh my God. That is some crazy lift, bro. Holy shit. Woo! That is nuts, bro. This is crazy. I'm climbing the mountain, dog.
Absolutely crazy pockets of lift there. Really strong, like grab you by your like shirt and just rip you up into the air. And then flying up like that ridge direction, super cool, because you see yourself rising as you're going uphill. So how to say this? It just feels like you're like on an escalator kind of going up the ridge. Really cool feeling.
Holy crap. That is some really good lift. Wow. That is something else, man. Kind of wishing I chanced it on doing the phone without the lanyard, but this feels a little safer for sure.
So I did not set up my phone with the lanyard, and as a result, decided not to even put it out on my base tube. So I have no visual indication of altitude. I still have the Blue Fly Vario beeping in my pocket. It's a little bit muffled due to placement, but hopefully soon I'll finally have all the gear just ready to go. I have a lanyard. I just forgot it on this flight. The Blue Fly, I hadn't exactly figured out how I wanted to hook it to the tube. Still figuring that out, but I'm pretty sure I'm locked in. But next flight has already happened, so it's not gonna happen on the next flight. But the flight after that, I am hoping, which hopefully will be tomorrow at Bates.
Wow.
Hopefully I will have my gear dialed in to the point where I have visual indication as well as beeping just ready to go, dialed in. I've kind of had it before, but with the proper Blue Fly setup, it'll be cool.
That is insane.
And if you want to give me a Vario, hit me up. But I don't want to pay $200 for one.
Wow.
Because when the phone works, it's just kind of like,
wow.
Am I really gaining a whole lot? I don't know.
Absolutely. Wow.
So this is where I was talking about kind of that escalator feeling, just cruising uphill with the lift. It's super wild feeling, just because it doesn't feel like it should be happening. It just feels like you're cheating somehow. Amazing feeling.
Absolutely fucking cruising, dude. Holy crap. This is sick. Oh my gosh. Dude, this is by far the best lifting conditions I've ever flown in. Wow.
And maybe take it back. Maybe it was slightly better at Marshall's that day that I had my 50-minute flight, but today was like sweet lifting conditions. I'm sure it gets crazier in the Owens Valley in the summer midday, but for me, an H2, this was absolutely booming as far as lift, and I'm so stoked on it.
Wow. Wow.
Huge shout out to Andy. let me fly this spot. Great job putting together an organization where you can have an online presence, find them, figure out who to talk to. I had to talk to Willie to find Andy's number, but after that, you know, just kind of figuring it out. They got the shuttle thing figured out. I'm glad to pay a little bit of money to have something established and just know there's a way up. Santa Barbara, love flying there. But seriously, it would be amazing, and this is kind of a call to action, if Santa Barbara had some sort of regular hang gliding shuttle setup similar to Crestline or Sylmar, because it's just so much better from a young pilot's perspective when there's just this more rigid, you know, you can find a ride probably on the weekend type of situation.
Wow, dude.
And it's so much easier to get excited about going, because it's less about, okay, like how am I going to figure out who to talk to get a ride up, and it's more just about, okay, when am I free, when's a good day to fly as far as weather, let's go fly then. So I remember this. I reached down and I'm just checking out, like, okay, where's that grab handle? Because I don't know why, but in my head this whole flight, I was like, man, what if I just pop off the hang glider? I gotta be ready to pull that chute. I don't know why it kept on going through my head, but it's kept on looping through, and the culmination of that for me was like, okay, all right, where's that handle? Just so I remember. I've obviously practiced like reaching down there and grabbing it in that area before, but just kind of wanted to get like one more, like, okay, if I fall off somehow, I'm gonna grab that. I don't know why I was going through my head, did my hang check, everything felt good, but sometimes that's just how it be in the air, I guess.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. This is awesome, man. Damn, that smoke looks brutal over there. Wow. Wow. That is some crazy lift. Micah. Where's the boy Micah at? Man, that's wild seeing the dam down there. Oh, this is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, oh my.
Super cool seeing the dam. It's just really cool to see a body of water nearby. Just something I'm not really used to seeing besides the ocean. And I've never really seen a dam from the top like this at length. Obviously seen it from an airplane before, but it was really cool to see the dam, gotta say.
Headwind, so gotta watch out. But I feel like I'm staying in a pretty safe position to the ridge. Okay, we got our last guy up. Watch out for him. Is he not in his... Oh, he is. Okay, that's just a crazy angle.
So the last guy finally got up in the air. So now I believe there's 4 or 5 of us in the air, one of which is a tandem. And yeah, a lot of people flying around. Cool to be flying with this many hang gliders, because in Santa Barbara, just the way that I've flown it, and I've never gotten great lift there, it's just like, you kind of launch, you kind of land, and it just seems like a train of people doing sled rides. But here, when everyone's... the soaring is really close to the launch. Even closer than Eliminator to Antenna Farm, I think. I would be curious to actually check the distance. But it's cool to be able to see launch, and I'm like, I can work all the way back up to launch easily, and people taking off while I'm up there. It's cool to see. And kind of gives me a Marshall's vibe. It's probably more what the paragliders feel like at Eliminator, because they are usually soaring right around launch there. Hang gliders, I've seen it, but it's not as common in my limited experience. So it's kind of cool to see that launch from the air, and then just knowing that there's gonna be another person flying next to you soon. That's really cool. So this will be my first time clipping it up a little bit, not showing the whole flight. I agree with some comments that I saw where, yeah, probably just pick the highlights, dude. Amazing flight, loved every second up here, but it's kind of visually same old, same old. So I'll try to clip some good shots of other gliders soaring around me, maybe a couple more times going up the ridge line. But for the most part, I mean, I'm just out here ripping, and as we can see it after the fact with the altitude, I'm gaining, losing some, gaining, losing some. Oh, there's the tandem. And just kind of working through it, having fun. Unfortunately, I was not able to have the battery. No, the GoPro battery died early. That's why we don't see a lot of that for the later half. The Insta360 SD card filled up because I was borrowing it from my GoPro, which had a bunch of footage on it. I didn't realize, so I thought I had space, but I ran out of space, unfortunately. So you'll have to take my word for it because there's no video. But the landing was solid. There's a tree you circle around as the staging, and then really tried to focus on a good downwind base and final. I kind of ended up making more of a short U-turn, kind of a short field landing like Parma, but still really happy with the landing. Had to run out a step or two, but no fall, glider, no contact on the ground until it was completely slowed down. So stoked with the landing, stoked with the launch, and really stoked with flight. Thanks so much for watching. Any feedback, keep it coming. Love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for going on the journey with me, and just stoked to be out in the air this much. Again, I flew again after recording this now. I flew yesterday, and then this flight was like 5 days ago from recording this, and then I flew a week ago as well, and I'm planning on flying tomorrow, which is crazy. So like 4 flights in the span of like 12 days. Absolutely loving it. Feeling like I'm a real hang glider pilot.
Right behind the
Stoked to
bridge.
keep the videos keep on rolling. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys around.
Man, this is so cool being in the air with other hang gliders. Okay, there's definitely something right there. A little low to get that. Working earlier. Let's see what we got. Yeah. Yup. Wow. Some good lift. Wow. That's sick, man. My neck gonna be sore from all this soaring. Oh, that's sweet seeing the sky crane in the air at the same time, man. Man, this is sick. Man, that's crazy. Let's go. Could be time to think about that. Just cruising, bro. Just cruising.